When it was launched in 2018, the Kia Stinger was both an anomaly and a revelation. Beyond just being eye-catching, it also delivered an experience that the Korean brand had never really managed to provide before. And as a result, it was something quite unique and thus rather special. Now, it's been facelifted for 2021. How special is it now? Welcome back to SG Carmart Reviews, and today we're driving the facelifted Kia Stinger. Specifically, this is the 3.3-litre variant. The Kia Stinger is priced from $195,999 to $235,999. The 3.3-litre V6 engine produces 361 brake horsepower and 510 Nm of torque. The 8-speed transmission brings the car from 0 to 100 km/h in 4.9 seconds. For more details on the Kia Stinger or any other car, head on to sgcarmart.com to help you make the smart choice on your next car. So, looking at it, you can't really tell that anything has really changed because honestly, design-wise, just some really minor changes to what is actually still a very distinct looking car. At the front, two real changes. You have reworked LED headlights with slightly different turn signal design, and we have this little patch here which has a camera that's related to some safety systems that we'll get onto later. So actually the more noticeable change is at the back, so let's go check it out. At the rear, what we have now is a really distinctive LED light signature that you can see stretches across the entirety of the rear of the car. We also have these new turn signals that's supposed to resemble a checkered flag. According to Kia, doesn't look like a checkered flag to me. As far as boot space is concerned, unchanged, 406 litres, which is plenty. As you can see, easily fits the big luggage and the anti-trolley. It's not the tallest boot in the world, but it's quite deep and the loading aperture is pretty wide. So, easy to get things in and out. Now, let's go check out the rear seats. The Stinger is really a rather big car, so as you can see, space in the rear cabin is plentiful. I have tons of legroom, a good amount of headroom considering this has a sloping roofline. And the seats are nice and comfortable and really quite wide, so you have plenty of space. As far as amenities are concerned, it's okay. You have a USB port, 12-volt socket, rear aircon vents, but just temperature control, no fan control. And you have ISOFIX points as well. This 3.3-litre variant, you do get heated rear seats, which I don't know why you need heated rear seats in Singapore, but it comes with it. As far as the middle seat is concerned, I think it's pretty comfortable. Obviously, there is the center transmission tunnel, but because there's so much space on either side, I think you can easily sit 3 people with no problem. So, all in all, this is a very passenger, family-friendly car. Let's move on to the front and check it out. The interior of the Stinger is largely unchanged. So the pre-facelift model was quite impressive with its high build quality and high quality materials. And in this car, it's pretty much the same, right? We've got plenty of lush leathers, we've got this suede headliner, and all in all, everything here feels upmarket. So this facelift has come with some light tech updates. The infotainment system now comes with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So that gives you easy access to things like your navigation, your music, etc. Beyond that, there are a bunch of sort of upmarket equipment. We have memory electric seats, and this particular driver side is a 10-way adjustable. And one cool feature is that when you engage sport mode, the side bolsters actually tuck in to give you better lateral support. We have Harman Kardon speakers, we have ventilated seats, wireless charging, these parking camera modes. So all in all, you get a pretty upmarket car, I would say, for your money. But I think most importantly with this car, it's about how it drives, right? So let's go take it for a spin. So before we drive off, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Coats. Look, selling your car can be a tedious process, right? You have people who lowball you, people who don't show up, or they show up and then they sort of back out of their agreed price. So with Coats will actually help you put up your car for bidding, and used car dealers will actually bid on your car. And the final price that you will get is almost certainly going to be better than what you can get on your own. Courts will also honour the price if the dealer backs out. And if you don't like the price, you can simply just walk away. To find out more, visit courts.com.sg. Now, let's go drive this Stinger. With this particular Stinger, the headline-grabbing specification is obviously what's under that bonnet. A 3.3-litre V6 engine that pumps out 361 horsepower and 510 Nm of torque. And of course, all of that power is sent to the rear wheels. So in comfort mode, which I am in now, yes, the powertrain is a little bit on the sort of lazy, lethargic side, but that's to be expected. But if I get into sport mode, suddenly everything really sharpens up and you really pick up speed in a really fairly ridiculous manner. So 0 to 100 actually takes just 4.9 seconds in this car, and just a little bit of throttle. I'm not even at full throttle and the car really just picks up. So obviously with this car, power is not an issue at all, right? It has a ton of power. As far as the drivability goes, if you're driving this car hard, I think the chassis is really quite responsive. This particular 3.3 variant has the electronically controlled damper, so you get a firmer ride, a better control ride, and there's a limited slip differential as well. But to be fair, those things you can't really sort of fully use on normal roads, right? You're just mostly going fast in a straight line. Something to note, the car's wheelbase is quite long, so you can't sort of change that reality. So there is a slight disconnect between the front axle and the rear axle. So when you're taking corners, you just have to be a little bit more mindful. If you are the kind that like to switch everything off, do note that it can be quite tail happy, so just be a little bit more respectful of the throttle. But if you're talking about just driving normally on normal day-to-day driving in comfort mode, it's actually really quite quiet and actually really quite comfortable. I do enjoy how the car rides. The long wheelbase helps. It really does a good job of soaking up all the bumps, and that's nice and comfortable. With this facelift, a key part of the facelift is actually the addition of new safety features. So there are a couple of very useful ones. First one is the smart cruise control. So essentially you set a speed, you set a distance, and the car will adjust accordingly its speed to whatever you want it to be. And in combination with the lane keeping assist, it will actually keep the car in the middle of the lane, and it will actually help to steer the car through some lighter bends. So this is especially useful for highway driving because the smart cruise control actually works all the way down to like 10-15 km/h, so even like crawling speed. So that makes your drive home after work really quite convenient. Additionally, there is what Kia calls the blind spot view monitor. So you just hit the left or right signal and a camera view will pop up on the dashboard, which will show you what's in your blind spot. Again, I don't think this is a replacement for your mirrors, but it does help you to see things like whether you're very close to the curb or if there's something really close in your blind spot. So that's really quite useful. So overall, I would say that the driving experience in this Stinger is quite sophisticated. When you want to drive fast and you want to drive dynamically, you have a really powerful engine. I think the brakes are really good. You have Brembo brakes on this one. You have a limited slip diff. So there is a level of sophistication that you probably won't find in most other cars in this price segment and below. And as far as day-to-day driving, it is really quite comfortable, and I think it does feel quite premium, which is really nice. So, the facelifted Kia Stinger 3.3, is it a will buy, won't buy, or go try? For me, this is a won't buy. Let me tell you why. So don't get me wrong, the Stinger is still a very accomplished car that is capable of delivering plenty of delight. It's packed full of equipment, it drives really well, and there's hearty dynamic performance to be had. But a key part of the appeal of the Stinger is the fact that you get German quality engineering and equipment without the associated German price tag. However, with this facelifted one, you are getting a German price tag. Yes, you can blame COE, you can blame VS, which definitely has bumped the price of this car up. But there's no real getting around the fact that this is now a $235,000 car. And that's a big number. That's a big number no matter how you look at it. And I think that's a number that a lot of people will struggle to overcome. And there's another big problem, right? Which is the fact that there is a 2-litre model that wants $40,000 less. So for an additional $40,000, what you're essentially getting is the 3.3-litre engine with, yes, a lot more performance. You're getting Brembo brakes, you're getting the electronically controlled suspension, you're getting the limited slip diff, and just a little bit more equipment like the Harman Kardon speaker. So not a ton more. And in my opinion, I think it's what you're paying for is performance that you probably cannot use on day-to-day basis. You know, on the track, yes, maybe you can feel a significant difference, but for most people, I think the 2-liter does everything that this does. You know, you get all of the quality of life improvements. You get the new safety systems, you get wireless CarPlay, and you still get a very high quality car that drives very well. And with this 3.3 model, obviously you're paying a lot more road tax as well. This one comes in at a bit more than 2009 a year, so that's more than twice the 2-liter. So that's a lot to swallow. The thing with the Stinger is that it always used to be a value proposition. I think the 2-liter one still is. I think this one is a lot less of a value proposition than it used to be. For that kind of money, you can get a 3 Series, you can get a C-Class, and you can even get a Lexus ES. So can you really justify paying $235 for a car like this? I'm not so sure. So if you want a Stinger and you want the full performance capabilities, you want all the power in the world, then yes, this is the model to get. However, if you want the quality of life and you want the premium feeling drive and equipment, etc., I think the 2-liter model is the one to have. Alright, so that's our video of the facelifted Kia Stinger. What do you think? Let us know in the comment section below. Will you pay $235 for this car? Do also like and share, and subscribe and hit the notification bell to see more of our videos. And do follow us on TikTok, we're doing fun stuff there. Alright, so I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!